Hey everybody, my name's Mecca, and yes, I made over $225,000 from KDP last year in 2021. And in this video, I wanted to walk you through exactly how you also can follow the same methods that I used and show you how you can make some actual serious cash with self-publishing on Amazon. I've been doing this since 2016. I've published over 100,000 books. I wish. Actually, no, I don't. I've published over 100 books, all under various pen names. I'll link some of the books. Boom, 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 boom. And yeah, let me show you how you can make some bank with KDP. So the very first thing is you need to choose real books, not low content books. Now, if you are in the YouTube space, you've probably seen a lot of these people been talking about, oh, make money with low content books. And the truth, or rather the untold truth here with low content books is, well, can you make money with them? Yes, but you can also make money shoveling shit. So let me break it down for you. The reason why these low content books are so popular is because the low cost of entry. It typically takes anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 to produce a real high quality book. Yes, some niches are less and some can be more, but it does take a significant startup capital. Now, the thing that people have loved about low content and why you see so many people talking about it is because it takes pretty much no capital to get going. A lot of the times you can make these on your own, or you can just pay pennies, essentially, to have somebody create a journal or a notebook or whatever the case is. These books do not bring in the same type of return that people are thinking that traditional books bring in. You have to literally publish hundreds, sometimes thousands of books in order to make a few dollars. It's basically like a legal loophole on Amazon. You think I'll list a couple of the old loopholes that people used to take advantage of, and that's essentially what low content publishers are doing in this day and age. Now, not all of them, but the majority of the ones that you do see, yeah, they're doing what's called the pump and dump. They're just pumping out all of these journals in these different niches or calendars or whatever it is. They're just dumping them on Amazon with no business plan, with no understanding of who a customer is, with none of this. Hopefully that customers pick them up and purchase. And it's it's just a sad mentality. And these are the get rich quick type of publishers typically doing this. But basically low content publishers or low content stuff, it's going to be irrelevant in a few years, just like it was irrelevant a few years ago. Now there is a place to add in a low content book, an activity book, whatever in your current niche. Perhaps it does make sense for some niches, but the way that most of these people are promoting how to publish a low content book it's just absolute trash. In fact, reading through some of the comments, the fact that you know that there's a daily upload of the amount of books you can upload to your KDP account each day should tell you you're in a retarded business model. It just doesn't make sense. Now, the second thing, niche selection. So let's dive into this. So choosing a niche should be easy and not hard. The first thing you need to do is pick one you love. Look, you're going to spend the next little bit building an actual business. This is going to be your child, so to speak. So you're going to be living and breathing this thing. You need to be picking one you love. It's absolutely crucial. Do not chase money or trendy keywords. This is a great thing to get lots of people clicks on YouTube. And yes, I've done videos like that in the past, I'm sure. But no, do not chase trendy keywords or whatever because so-and-so is saying this is hot, sexy thing to talk about. It's not. You have to do your own research. It needs to be a nice large niche. Small niches are a lot tougher to make money in. So you want to pick something that there's, a massive customer base from, because remember, you don't need the entire pie. You just need like 1% of it. And on that note, make sure there's competition in this niche. If there's no competition in your niche, why? It's usually because it's no good. So you have to have some sort of competition in there. Your competitors tell you so much more about what you need to be doing than trying to get into a niche that nobody's in. And you have to have experience in it, right? How are you going to teach somebody, right? How are you going to help solve a problem for your customer that you haven't solved yourself? You can't do enough research to figure that out. You just can't. You have to be in a niche that you can relate to, that you understand. And this is where a lot of people screw it up. They try, like, you know, if I was trying to do dog training, I would suck at it. Even with all the experience that I have with Amazon and how to sell things on KDP and all of that, if I tried to come out with books on dogs, they would suck no matter the effort I put into them, for the simple reason is I just hate dogs. And yes, I'm a horrible human being. I get it. But that's the fact of the matter. You can't do well with something that you do not fully enjoy yourself. It makes it harder. It just makes it crappy. You just don't want to do it. So you have to have some sort of experience in it. Now, if you're still stuck, there you can go and click the link. I'll have a link in the description of this video, or the pinned comment, I guess. No email opt-in, no nothing. Just go, and this is the list of the top 50 niches that you can start with. Just an idea. And remember, just because I said they're the top 50, do your own bloody research. Make sure, I think the first one's like art and photography or something like that, or that's like the genre, and then it goes into it. Just because that's listed there, if you don't know anything about art and photography, don't be an idiot and pick that. You're not going to do well. You have to make sure you're following these things. Pick one you love, have experience in it. Everything else, pretty much all of them are decently large. They all are going to have competition. Don't let competition scare you. That's another mistake. I could have talked more on competition. If you're scared of competition, if you're worried that there's too many competitors in there, you're looking at the business the wrong way. Okay, number 3, understand your customer. Right now, your customer should be you, right? That's step 1. If your customer is not you, you're in the wrong niche. This makes it 200% easier to do the entire publishing process, right? When your customer is you. What do they want? Well, what do you want? Right? Whatever it is that you're going after, if you're the customer, there's a good chance everybody else wants those same type of things. Now, it will vary niche to niche and depending on person to person, but to get started, follow that. Right? Be the customer. Create the type of book that you would want because it's solving your problems as a customer. Right? What problems are they facing? That's unique to them and to their situation. Right? You will discover things that are different or unique to you that an outsider won't be able to fully understand or figure out because they're an outsider and they're looking at it from a different perspective. This is one of the most underrated parts of self-publishing, and I believe it's why 90% of publishers end up failing. It's because they're trying to solve problems for people that they cannot relate to whatsoever. If you try to do that, you'll fail. Know your competition. This isn't really talked about a lot for some reason in this space. Not sure why, because it's kind of important. What are they doing and how can you do it better? 2 things I ask myself when I'm doing my research. Okay, what's my competition doing? How can I do it better than them? Right? Then I buy all of their books. And I buy all versions. So if they have an ebook, I grab the ebook, the paperback, and the audio. Because why? Well, one, right, like the one niche that we're doing right now, we're creating a book on road trips. And what we've learned is all the ebooks suck. So we're actually going to take the ebooks out of the equation. We're not going to do ebooks. We're only going to have physical books and an audio book for it. But we did that because we bought all the ebooks and we're like, man, it doesn't format right. The pictures don't line up properly. And it's a pain in the butt. Right. But we bought all the versions, and then, we're like, nobody's doing any proper books or audiobooks for this niche. It's for kids, right? We're like, that's a massive area of opportunity. But we didn't know any of this until we started buying all the books from our competitors, right? Also, the type of paper they're using, and you get a feel for them. And yeah, you have to buy your competitors' books so you can get a really good idea of exactly what are my customers buying, what are there other options out there, so you can do it better. Find holes or weak parts, right? And then step it up, right? So as you're going through, as you're reading through their book, what are they missing? And how do you know what they're missing? Because does it solve the problem that you have? Because you are the customer, right? You see how it all ties back to that other point? You have to be the customer, right? What parts does it solve? Or then it's like, how can I solve this problem better, right? Or faster than what this book is doing? Come up with the other ideas because you're the customer. Be different. Just be different, right? If they're doing this thing, then try doing this. Once again, you'll have a good sense of this because you're the customer. So you don't want to be too different, but you want to be, how can you differentiate yourself from your competition? Going back to that point, that's why we're having an audiobook, because now we're going to have something that the kids can actually take part in as well as the parents that nobody else is offering. Think outside the box. Do what they can't or what they won't. This is just key. Don't settle for a cookie cutter book that everyone else is doing. And we'll talk more about this in a couple points. And don't forget this. If there is no competition, then the niche sucks. Plain and simple. If there's no competition, the niche sucks. You probably don't want it. Okay, give more to get more. I probably could have came up with a better title for that. But just don't hold back. Don't get stingy when you're creating your book. How can you make the book the most valuable piece of information the customers ever spend their money on? Go into it with that mindset, right? How can you just absolutely blow them away with this book? Don't be afraid to charge more for it because of that. If you offer more than your competitors, you're giving more than your competitors, okay, charge more than your competitors, right? Don't price your paperback at $19.99 when it should be $29.99. Don't be afraid to charge more because your book is worth it, right? Separate yourself by being the premium choice on Amazon. Right? A lot of people are afraid of doing this. A lot of people don't want to increase their prices. Increase your prices. Separate yourself. But you have to be able to back it up. And you back it up by creating the best book possible. Right? $2,000 versus $150,000. If you had $150,000, is $2,000 a lot of money? It's not a lot. But then why are you worried about spending $2,000 to create the absolute best book possible when over the next 70 odd months, this book's going to net you $150,000? Right? You have to think long term, not short term when you're creating your books. Now, it flows into this point, right? Creating the highest quality book you can, right? Writing has to be top notch first and foremost. Don't skip on the writers. Now, either you're writing the book yourself, if that's one of your talents, right, and then you go and you have it edited professionally and proofread professionally, right? Don't kid yourself. You're not doing that yourself. You need to have another set of eyes edited and proofread, okay? Or you hire professional writers to help you write the book, or just to 100% write the book, and you're working with them. Cover design. Gone are the days of paying $5, $10, $15, $20, or $100 for a cover. Stand out. Look at what's the difference between me spending, $300, $400 on a cover, right? What type of cover can I get for $300 or $400 that I couldn't get for $100? Interior book design. No, this is not formatting. I mean the design of your book, right? This is, how does the book flow? How does it feel? How does And, how does it speak to the customer? This is something you only can figure out if you're buying all your competitors' books, right? The ones that might be self-published, or what about the ones that are from a massive publishing house, right? How can you compete with them even? And then the audiobook. If Will Smith, he has that his new biography, Will, or autobiography, Will, and man, he completely changed how I looked at audiobooks, right? Him and David Goggins, right? Because that's another sick audiobook. And that's why we decided to go so different with the audiobook we're creating for our road trip book. It was inspired a lot from Will Smith's audiobook. So, be different. Don't just have it. You guys will see the audiobook when it comes out. I'll be showing you because it's going to be sick. Okay, number 7, publish it on KDP. Right? Easy. But you have to have a launch plan. Okay, now, I'm a firm believer. This is the same plan I used when I first started helping people publish books. John Vroman, Front Row Factor was the first book I published for somebody else. And we did a 15-day launch plan. And this is the same that's in the lessons inside my self-publishing blueprint, right? 15 day-by-day, step-by-step launch plan. Okay, you have to follow a plan, because if you don't, you're just leaving money on the table and you're not understanding of how to launch your book the right way. There are no shortcuts, right? There's no shortcuts on KDP, not if you want to make some serious income with it. Understand the rules, terms of service, right? I see a lot of people talking about stuff they don't know. How often do you read Amazon's terms of service? Read them every few months just so you can stay up to speed with them. So because they're changing. Reviews, right? This is honestly the easiest part. It's only hard when you've messed up the first 6 points that I just talked about. Okay, not point 7, that was just publishing. But the first 6 points. If you mess up the first 6 points, yes, reviews is hard. Understand why customers leave reviews. Right? You can even comment down below if you want. Like, why do you think customers leave reviews? Why are they leaving a review for your book or not leaving a review for your book? Do customers leave a review for your book because they like your book? No, they don't. Most people don't understand that. They don't leave reviews because they like or they didn't like your book. That is not why somebody's leaving a review on your book. Right? You have to emotionally move them to leave a review, positively or negatively. Now, if you're not getting reviews, understand this: your book sucks. If you're not getting reviews, your book sucks. Average books don't get reviews. They don't get bad reviews, and they don't get good reviews. So if you're struggling right now with reviews, your book just sucks. And that's the plain honest truth. Now, repeat this and grow. Repeat everything that I've talked about until you're at $4,000 in profit each and every month. Now, repeat this until you're at $4,000 in profits each and every month. Now, I didn't say like $10,000 or $20,000. No, you only have to hit this $4,000 in profits every single month. The more or less you do with the 4,000, it's going to affect the final step, but that's it. The last thing you're going to do is you cash out. You go list your account on Empire Flippers. That's what I did, based on your monthly profit, that 4,000, and market demand. Okay, because that will fluctuate on what X they'll give you. $4,000 in profit should net you around $200,000 US, right? I've seen multiple of our students be able to cash out, sell their accounts. You can repeat this as many times as you like, right? Just repeat this process over and over and over again. This is there's some people who this is all they do. They start an Amazon account, right? A KDP account. They build it up and then they sell it. And then they start a new one, build it up, then they sell that one. And that's what they do. So looking at the business from a different lens, so to speak, it's not just a publishing business. It's a business that you can build up, cash out, start again, and it gets easier and easier to do that as you create systems for yourself. So let me know if you have any questions about anything that I talked about. If you do want more information, you can hit up www.myselfpublishingblueprint.com, and that is my program where I basically teach you everything that I just talked about step by step. But yeah, I've loved self-publishing. I just want to help other people do it. Keep it simple. Remove all the BS and just help you all succeed in 2022 and beyond.